I'm calling it now. This was the greatest slapdown in White House history. Forget the shouting match with Ukraine's Zelensky.
Playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
You're
playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
And don't worry about the home truths delivered to South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa.
Death, death, death. They're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land.
As for that awkward handshake with Emmanuel Macron,
gathering there for a peace summit. Now, there is a bro shake. If ever I've slipped, we won't let go. OK, you let go. No, I'm going to let go. All right, there we go.
That was a blip, a nothing burger, compared to what Donald Trump served up this morning to Kevin Rudd. Kevin Rudd was at the White House in his capacity as our ambassador, a role he probably thinks of as Prime Minister Part 3. He was seated at the White House Cabinet Room table almost directly across from the US President, whom he has variously described over the years as the most destructive president in history and a traitor to the West. For perhaps the first time in his life, Kevin Rudd was quiet, polite, subdued, sitting there like a schoolboy at the headmaster's table, hoping no one would remember that he'd once graffitied "I hate the principal" on the toilet wall. And for a while there, it looked like Kevin Rudd might just get away with it. I suspect Kevin Rudd even allowed himself a moment to relax. After all, the meeting was going well. Trump seemed to be in a good mood. Rudd was smiling that nervous smile of a man who's halfway through a minefield and starting to think that maybe, just maybe, he'll make it to the other side. And then, well then, like a thunderclap in a library, our Sky News colleague Andrew Clennell asked a question. Now, you've probably seen it, but let's be honest. I don't think you can ever see this too many times.
Been concerned in Australia that it's taken 9 months to get this meeting. Have you had any concerns with this administration, with its stance on Palestine, climate change, or even things the ambassador said about you in the past, the Australian ambassador?
I don't know anything about him. I mean, if he said bad, then maybe he'll like to apologize. I really don't know. Did an ambassador say something bad about him? Don't tell me. I don't know. Where is he? Is he still working for you?
Yeah.
You said bad?
Before I took this position, Mr. President.
I don't like you either. I don't, and I probably never will.
That wasn't just a slapdown. That was a public execution with applause. Trump played it like a master. First, he pretended not to know who Kevin Rudd was or whether he was still the ambassador. And then, while acting surprised to learn Kevin Rudd was sitting directly opposite him, Trump suggested in front of the world's media that perhaps Kevin Rudd might like to apologise. Well, Kevin Rudd, for the first time in his life, not happy to be the centre of attention, offered a lame excuse that his nasty comments were made before he took up the position of ambassador. But Trump talked right over the top of him, telling him to his face that he doesn't like him and he never will. And then Trump just moved right on with the press conference, leaving Kevin Rudd to take the longest, saddest sip of water. But that wasn't the most humiliating part. The most humiliating part was the way in which everyone in the room roared with laughter at Kevin Rudd's expense. And no one laughed louder than Anthony Albanese.
You said bad?
Before I took this position, Mr. President.
I don't like you either. I don't, and I probably never will.
By the way, just on Anthony Albanese, watch how quickly he throws Kevin Rudd under the bus. Watch again as Trump turns to Albanese and asks, "Is the ambassador still working for you?" Albo doesn't even hesitate. Yeah, he giggles, pointing straight at Rudd like a kid dobbing in his mate to the teacher.
Did an ambassador say something bad about him? Don't tell me. I don't know. Where is he? Is he still working for you?
Yeah.
Albanese has a huge grin on his face as Kevin Rudd is left dangling like a pinata while Trump takes a big swing. Even Industry Minister Tim Ayres joined in, giggling beside Rudd like the mate who'd laughed the loudest when you fall off your bike, because, well, at least it wasn't him.
You said bad?
Before I took this position, Mr. President.
I don't like you either. I don't, and I probably never will.
While everyone was laughing at Rudd's expense, the man himself was privately seething, probably wishing he was in Beijing. If you watch closely, you can actually see the moment Kevin Rudd realised his career-long smugness had been dismantled in front of the world. Keep your eyes on his facial expression.
You said bad?
Before I took this position, Mr. President,
I don't like you either. I don't, and I probably never will. Go ahead.
For a man who spent his entire career convinced he was the smartest person in every room, Kevin Rudd found himself in the one room where everyone was laughing but not with him. It must have been a lonely walk back to his Washington, D.C. residence where he would no doubt have sat and reflected on the morning's events. In fact, we've been able to obtain exclusive footage from inside Rudd's private residence, capturing the moments immediately after he arrived home from his meeting with Trump.
Just hopeless.
Hopeless indeed, and glorious, simply glorious. Now, it was reported that after journalists left the room, Kevin Rudd said sorry to Donald Trump, who in return reportedly replied, "All is forgiven." Now, unlike most people, I don't expect Kevin Rudd will be replaced as ambassador. He'll remain in Washington, D.C. thanks to two things. First, our PM's cowardice, and second, the president's graciousness.